Because now we got to hear it in your own words. Your toast to your bride.
Here's my version. January 2014. Can't hear me. Let me stand up. January of 2014, I developed iritis. And for me, it was one of the worst things. I was miserable. I couldn't see. And I was stuck at home because it was a snowstorm. So for like 2 days, I was sick. And I called I did two things. One, I called one of my med school friends, Vic Haas, who's an ophthalmologist. He kind of coached me through how to do it with just home medicine. And then I called one of my coworkers and said, hey, I need help. And when I went in to get help, it was Nancy. When we first met, she thought I was upset and that I was complaining that she was late. But I was just in need of help. She also thought I was an arrogant cardiologist. So when I came in there, she was like, oh, you are sick. And then I started treating. Now the way that I slowly started to move her, although this wasn't part of the plan, it wasn't fleshed out, not quite, was I just started talking to her. And I would say things, and I would show her how to save money. And she was like, yeah. I was like, she's into this. And so then I get like 20 minutes or less to have to see patients. But whenever I was meeting with Nancy, she would be in there for an hour. So in my mind, hey, this girl likes me. We work together. We don't do this whole doctor-patient thing. So a few months go by, and I met him in the OHB, and though he says I'm analytical, I was just saying he was helping me with the strategy. And he was like, hey, dude, let me tell you this is what you need to do. So we would go back and forth, and we put a plan together. And then the only thing is, Leo was like, hey, you need to wait. And behind his back, I was executing. So there was this day, Memorial Day of last year. I just was like, Nancy, let's get together. And she met. First time she knows you. Second time, she actually showed up. My point is be persistent. And then we just went to lunch. We didn't talk about it. And then, actually, it's kind of fun. Then I sent her chocolates. But the card got lost. She thought it was a patient trying to poison her. And I thought she was some ungrateful person. She didn't think anything about chocolates. So I went to Lisa and one of my other burn sisters at the June lunch and said, what do I do? This girl, she stood me out one time, went to lunch, she was good, but now she won't even thank me for the chocolate. Like, follow her. Man up. So I called her. And then she rambled for about 30 minutes. And then in the midst of that, she said, some random patient sent me chocolates. I was like, oh, I did that. She's like, really? I was like, yeah. She goes, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I did with the card. I even paid for the card. So from there, it was like we were good. Because the next thing was for me to ask her out. But I couldn't technically, and I won't go into the details, but I couldn't exactly ask her out. So I figured out what restaurant she liked. I actually did for years keeping a list of restaurants. And it was a lot. I haven't counted, but I'd say we went to probably between at least 75 restaurants over the past year. And last night was the first time that we ever went to the same one twice. So we would go, and we would try out different places. And each time I'd take her to a restaurant, I would always try to make sure it was something that she liked. Or I'd always try to show her, I was like, hey, Nancy, let me take you to an Asian restaurant. That's huge because I'm black. And I didn't grow up eating Asian food. But I had a Taiwanese roommate who taught me to use chopsticks, which is what I did. And then he taught me, remember the first time we went out, Grant, his dad took us, and the fish had the head on it. I was like, what's going on here? But all those lessons now, they came back. Because Nancy, even though everybody thinks I had all these test questions, Nancy had a lot of test questions for me. There were questions about my health. She already had my records. Questions about my past, my cults, all my exes. She grilled me. I grilled her too. She grilled me. so then after she had everything on, we just sat down. One day she's like, okay, here's my test. She handed me a pair of chopsticks, and she came on and said, I'm going to teach you how to use that. And I just went in, I started grabbing the food. She's like, whoa, what's going on here? And then by August of last year, I think we kind of both knew this was different. So, to my favorite woman, the woman of my dreams, the one who answers every question, who passed every test. And I'm going to add in one more thing. We even did personality testing. And according to the guys who researched it, we've gotten some of the highest scores ever in the history of Fellowship Bible Church. So to Nancy, may we have you in return. Okay?
Now, y'all, I'm older than you was. Now, y'all know what it means when you tap the side of your glass. It means if you break it, you brought it. No, everybody tap the side of your glass. When you hear that sound, they mean this. Now, enjoy your cake and let's